Welcome to the first round of the Silverstone Competition Tyres BTRDA Rally Series 2005, based here at Chepstow Racecourse.
Okay, my name is John Reed. I'm the father of Lee. Lee died 3 years ago in a tragic car accident, and at the time he was building this Ford Focus. And of course his hero was Colin McRae, and nobody else could fit the bill but Colin. And it was natural that he would actually start building a Focus. And we got a shell and some bits and pieces, and unfortunately he got killed. And I decided then to raise money for charity. And he's been dead 3 years now, and since then we've raised £43,000. But what I've got to say, without people like Jeff Jewett, Les Weaver at TAL, Dome Motorsport, Dennis Osborne, without those guys this could never be possible, because they gave me a lot of parts, you know, for nothing. And also I've got about 70 odd sponsors on it, so they've all bought a piece of the car, and this is what it's all about. You know, I've had 26 years in the sport. I love it. I got a Mark II Escort, and of course the lad was very special to me. He was a great talent at 19 years of age. We looked at if he could go places. He was picked up by an international motorsport organisation, but unfortunately we didn't have the money. Like a lot of things, you need the money to get on. And he said, right Dad, well, we haven't got the money, so I'm going to work 3 years solid, 7 days a week. And that's what he did. He put every penny into it. So I feel obligated that I've got to finish this dream. And it was a dream that he wanted, and I made it a reality.
And tomorrow you're going out?
Absolutely right, yeah. We're going to do the circuit at Chepstow Park, at Chepstow Racecourse. And then I'm going to climb into my Mark II Escort and finish the rest of the event.
Right, and apparently local lad,
yeah. That was a long time ago, a long time ago. But looking forward to going out, and I'm going to go anyway. Obviously with all the modern cars, it's a bit dated. It's probably older than the rally the actual car is, but we should go and enjoy ourselves and see what comes of it.
So you come out to play today?
Yes, to try the car out for Bournemouth, and you say play, but there's some really good boys here today. Yeah.
Well, yeah. When I say play, and also apparently out there it's quite slippery. There's been a lot of rain over the past few days, which makes it quite muddy in there.
It's good. That's great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So I'm just want a trouble-free day. It'll be good fun.
Can you tell me a little bit about this car that I've heard all about?
Basically, it's a 306 shell with like the ice racing body kit, and then it's got a Cosworth V6 in the back through a sequential paddle change gearbox, four-wheel drive.
Not doing the championship, but you're using it as a shakedown, so...
Yeah, this is the third year I've done this rally. It's a great rally, very, very slippery, because we've got Andy Burton running at one. Hopefully I'm going to do better than I did last year, because we started the first stage last year. We smashed through the chicane, took off both door mirrors, and then we came to the first right-hand corner and we spun it and sent it down the field and stalled it. So we spent the whole of the rally playing catch me up.
Oh dear, so that is not the plan today?
No, we're just going to try and get round the first corner first of all, and see if Andy Burton makes it to the finish.
You have said, and a few people said, there's been quite a bit of rain this week, which does make it slippery, so tyre choice.
Yeah, well, we've just moved to the new Michelin tyres. We were testing this week in Wales, and they seem to work very well on the slippery conditions. And hopefully, with these new Michelin tyres, it'll make us go that little bit better.
Andy Burton took an early lead with the fastest times on the opening 4 stages, but would crash out of the rally on SS5. With a series of top 5 times and then fastest on SS5, Steve Perez inherited the lead. 2001 winner Nick Elsmore, slowed by differential problems, remained outside the top 10 over the stages before service. Ninth fastest on the opening 2 stages, Sean Gardner retired after SS3. After a poor first stage, Brian Bell moved up to 3rd with a series of top 5 times. Martin Healer climbed from 10th to 5th over the first 5 stages. Equal fastest with Burton on the opening stage, and second on 3 and 5, saw Dorian Rees second overall at the end of SS5. Nigel Griffiths climbed up to 6th in Chepstow Park, taking the Group N lead in the process. Third after SS2, Peter Elkins, dropped out of the top 10 after an off on SS3, but regained 7th place on SS5. Setting some erratic times, Rob Smith would drop from 6th equal to 10th over the morning stages. 6th fastest on stage 2 was enough to move Callum Guy up to 7th, but his top 10 placing was short-lived and he fell to 15th over the next 3 stages. Having been placed as high as 6th on special stage 3, Dave Jenkins retired at service with a blown turbo. A poor first stage left James Vincent 50th overall, but some quick times on the following 4 stages saw the crew move up to 12th before service. Another car to go equal fastest with Burton on special stage 1, Stuart Jones, dropped back to 8th over the next 4 stages. Another poor first stage, this time for Alan Ring, saw him climb 42 places on special stage 2, but to no avail as the crew retired on special stage 3. 6 equal on SS1, Conor McCloskey and Damien Duffy were another crew to retire on special stage 2. A long way from home, Yorkshire crew John Bannister and Stuart Merry remained just inside the top 20 on the opening stages of the event. Natalie Barrett was one of the many drivers using the Wyedean as a shakedown before the start of the Ankro up BRC season openers. Just outside the top 20 over the opening stages, Tim Freeman moved up to 19th in Chepstow Park. Phil Newson climbed 25 places to 14th during the morning's 5 stages. Of the 2-wheel drive cars through the opening stage, James Belton soon picked up the pace to take the category lead after special stage 3. Like Belton, Robin Bradbury got off to a slow start, but had clawed himself up to 2nd 2-wheel drive by SS5. Tim Jones climbed 8 places in the 2-wheel drive category to move up to 18th at the end of special stage 5. Another big climber, Will Onions, finished the opening leg only 4 seconds behind Bradbury in 3rd. A good start with 3rd on the first stage for John Ballinger was ruined by a poor time on the following stage, which dropped into 14th. Nonetheless, he climbed back up to 8th on Special Stage 5. Twins Phil and Mick Squires were fastest on Special Stage 1, but problems slowed them on the following stages and they finished the opening leg 6th. An unusual addition to the entry list was the Nissan 240 RS of Ian Robertson and Kenny Roberts, taking a less than conventional line on this corner. Phil Newson climbed 25 places to 14th during the morning's 5 stages. Sixth on the first stage, Jason Lepley dropped time on Special Stage 2 and subsequently retired. Another different car to the hordes of Mark II Escorts, Richard Newman's Mark I. Roger Taylor was leading B10 for cars up to 1600cc. Fourth in his Manta on SS1, Gordon Davies dropped time over the following stages to finish the leg in 11th position. Jeremy Dawes' Proton seemed to be stuck in gear, but he was still climbing up the results tables. Having already driven his late son Lee's Focus over the first stage, John Reed was now back in a more familiar mount and pushing hard for B10 honours. So as the cars headed back to the racecourse for service, Steve Perez in his 03 Focus WRC had a healthy lead of 23 seconds from Dorian Rees's Subaru WRC. The 02 Focus WRC of Brian Bell was only a further 9 seconds back. Another Subaru, this time driven by John Lloyd, held 4th, Peter Elking being only 1 second behind. But it would be the Mitsubishi Evolution of Stuart Jones that Griffiths would be watching in the battle for Group N honours, whilst the slightly older Escort WRC of Martin Healer was 5th. First of the Group N cars, Nigel Griffiths headed a group of 3 cars separated by only 2 seconds, then rounding off the top 10, another Group N car, the Subaru of Rob Smith. The action as always in the 1400s was intense, as these equally matched cars were driven by some of the country's best young and some not so young aspiring drivers. The Sulcaline 1400 category almost mirrored the main event exactly. Reigning champion and event favourite Ian Evans went out early after an accident, just like Burton. Steve Loveridge then inherited the lead, only to have problems in Speech House, just like Perez. And then James Wozencroft, driving a new car, took its maiden victory, just like Dorian Rees. After the disappointment of the morning, Nick Elsmore took top 10 times on all the afternoon stages to move back into the top 10. Martin Healer lost time with a puncture on SS7, dropping him to 10th. Still losing time to Perez, Dorian Rees slowly extended his lead over the rest of the field. A puncture on SS6, Mailstott, cost Nigel Griffiths the Group N lead, but Griffiths then put in some astounding times, including an outright fastest. No mean feat for a Group N car in this field of WRC cars. Peter Elkins kept up his consistent run, but was unable to make up any ground on the leaders. Whilst the other Group N cars battled it out for the lead, Rob Smith was unable to make any further impression on the top 10. Everything seemed to be going Perez's way, but problems on SS8 cost him the lead as he fell to 7th. Taking fastest time from Perez by 1 second on SS6 moved Stuart Jones up to the Group N lead. But the notional time he was awarded on SS8, where he was first on the scene at an accident that caused the stage to be cancelled, dropped him 39 seconds to Griffiths. Stuart Larby had a disappointing run in his 6R4, but put in a time good enough for 6th fastest on the closing stage of the rally. The size of the puddles on the stages really had to be seen to be believed. Nathan O'Connor got to see more than most.
It looks like the first 5 stages we did without a turbo, so he was really disappointed on the car's performance. But this afternoon the car has transformed, and hopefully when we look at the times, we would have been, we're saying top 3 times easily, I hope, and we would have been in contention for the overall honours. But the idea of today was to get the car right, and now we can go to Bournemouth now fully confident that we can get a good result.
Perez recovered 2 places after his problems, but this only brought him up to 5th.
Gear linkage broke.
When?
Well, penultimate stage. About right at the beginning, it broke. We had to go into manual, and we spent, I don't know, a minute and a half playing about, so blowed it, I suppose.
So you were 38 seconds in the lead going into the last stage.
We were leading, 30, I don't know, it was 38 or whatever, And it snapped and jammed it, so we had to mess around and just time playing about with it to just jam the handbrake on. That's rallying.
Good day. It's been great. Very much enjoyed it.
And your overall result?
I'm not really sure until we've had the list anyway. So yeah, we should be in the top 3 somewhere. So yeah, it's good. Good.
So you're taking home a cup?
Well, we'll see in it.
When the results did become available, not only was Dorian in the top 3, he was first overall, having stretched his lead over Bell slightly during the afternoon. Nigel Griffiths in his Group N Impreza took an incredible 3rd overall. The top 10 two-wheel drive cars barely changed position over the final stages of the day. Second in A6 and 10th two-wheel drive was Paul Jones in a 206 XSI. First in B9 and ninth two-wheel drive was James Wozencroft in the Suzuki. Dave Brick and Rob Woodhouse were third B11 and eighth in category. One place up, Gordon Davies and Andy Salisbury, also in B11. Johnny Wigmore took A6 honours and was fastest front-wheel drive car on the event. Taking first place in B11, John Ballinger in another Manta, fifth two-wheel drive. Nursing a whole gearbox round that had used over 2 gallons of oil, the Squires brothers did well to finish fourth in category. Just 7 seconds ahead of the Squires was Will Onions, who took third two-wheel drive. Robin Bradbury had had his fight with James Belton brought to a premature end with the cancellation of SS8, the longest stage of the event, so had to settle for second as James took home both the trophy for the Class B 12 win and a good points haul to start his championship year.
The chicane wasn't wide enough.
But a good day.
Good day, yeah, enjoyable. Yeah, got around. That's the main thing today. Yeah.
See you on the Malcolm Wilson.
That's the plan. That's the plan. Cheers, thank you very much.
It's just what I dreamt of, you know, to go out there and do it for Lee and build his car and take it out on that stage, and it was just fantastic. And all the lads that have helped me, it's been brilliant. What can I say?
And the Mark II?
Well, there again. We had £100 rebuild last year. We got second in class. Hopefully we've done well again this year. But yeah, it's an old banger, 30 years old, and it stood the test of time and possibly put a few to shame. But I'm 64, so I'm still going strong, aren't I?
Age to stay in mind.
So I think combined age is about 105 altogether with my new Navigator. And he hasn't done it for about 11 years because he's been on his back. He broke his back. So I said I'd like to have him along one day, you know, to get with Lee's friend. And yeah, everybody's been fantastic.
Great.
So we've had a great day. We've raised money. The marshals on the stage has been giving us money. So how about that?
That's brilliant.
But hey, to Malcolm Wilson for all his help, and Dennis Osborne, all those boys, Jeff Jewett, fantastic.
All right, my love.
They're the boys.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.